Hey, horror fans, welcome back to Terror Talk, where I discuss creepy clips online. All the horror music you hear is composed by me. If you want my top 5 horror movie recommendations and exclusive reviews, check the pinned comment after watching. Plus, I've got a free gift to inspire your creepy imagination. Now, let's have some fun.
It was just a regular Friday night after getting out of a long closing shift at work. I made a quick microwave meal, then hopped online with some of my buddies and started gaming. I had an energy drink and some snacks and was ready to stay up late and enjoy the night. We gamed for a while. I never even checked the time, but at some point there was a knock. At first I just told my friends to hold on as I took my headset off and stood up. But when I turned around from my desk, I realized how dark it was inside and outside, seeing only the light from my computer. I stood there, understanding now how completely out of the norm it was for someone to be at my door this late into the night.
Yeah, have you ever had someone knock on your door that late at night? And if yes, what did you do about it? Because honestly, if I had someone knock on my door late at night, I would be pretty spooked, I'm not gonna lie. And I have windows that are like off to the side of my house. And so I feel like someone could easily just kind of like walk into the backyard and look through the side of my windows. So first thing I would do is shut the blinds to those windows, but then at the back of my house, I have a sliding glass door that you can easily see in from the backyard, which is pretty spooky. So I feel like someone would just easily try to come around to the back of the yard. And actually, that kind of happened one time when I had a roommate. One of my roommate's friends came over, and she wasn't answering, and she actually came all the way to the back and was looking into the back of the house. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, my friend told me that, and I was kind of spooked out by that because I know she didn't mean any harm, but that's just really, really spooky to me. So the kind of a side story there. But let me know what you would do, or if you've ever had someone knock on your door late at night.
And that's when I saw a man looking at me through the window. I froze when I saw him, feeling my stomach drop out of.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Seeing someone look at you through the window like that. Oh my god, I don't even know what I would do. That would be so creepy.
The eeriness of him staring at me. Then the man yelled through the glass, asking me a question, but I was too out of it to understand him. What? I said, walking closer to the window. The man repeated himself, asking me if I was someone he knew, named Jake or Jack or something. I didn't catch the name, but it definitely wasn't me. I shook my head no, and the man said nothing as he walked away from the window and disappeared past my front yard. Being a bit shaken, I immediately shut the blinds, then went back to the computer and told my friends about what just happened. They all didn't even believe me at first, but I think they heard the shakiness in my voice as they started asking a lot of questions, which only made me even more creeped out. I took their advice, going around and making sure all the doors were locked, then also locking the windows, which I'd never even bothered to do before. Then they assured me everything was okay, and we got back to what we were doing. A couple hours passed, and honestly, I'd completely forgotten about what had happened. I think I assumed that if they were to do something, it would have been right after he'd shown up. But then a loud knock from behind me almost shook me off my chair. This time, it was definitely from the front door. I told my friends, whispering into the headset. They said to see who it was and just call the cops. Doing as they said, I quietly walked over to the door and looked out onto the porch. It was him again, standing there and waiting for me to answer. I watched for a minute, and oddly, He kept looking to his right, as if he were looking at something or someone. I backed away and got my phone, calling the cops and whispering to them what was going on. Another knock came as I made my way back to the door and looked out, seeing the man looking off to the side again. Then he made a small gesture with his hand before knocking one more time. But the night was quiet enough for me to hear someone else's footsteps moving around to the side of the house. I followed the sound with my eyes until it stopped right under one of the windows. I saw the glass shift up slightly before getting stuck on the lock and falling back down. They tried again, but the window didn't give in. After this, there was probably a whole minute that went by where I didn't hear anything. I just stood there and listened to the operator updating me on the arrival of the officer.
Yeah, at this point, someone is definitely trying to break in, and that would be really scary to witness that and to go through that. And luckily, I never have. Have you? Have you ever had someone try to break in to your house before? Because, dang, this is quite unsettling. And I feel really sorry for anyone that has to go through this because, yeah, why can't we all just be good, you know? And not have to commit crimes like this. It's really unfortunate that we live in a world with so much crime and chaos, but it is what it is.
As I stared at the window, a loud, dull sound came from outside the window, like something being wedged into the wood. I could see the entire frame around the glass moving as I backed away and tried to think of what to do. But suddenly, a set of footsteps ran from the front door to the side window, followed by both of them running away. Only a moment later, I saw the flashing red and blue lights coming through the windows. As for what happened afterwards, there wasn't much. Police had nothing to really go off of. I gave them a detailed description of one of the men, but that just wasn't enough. However, it's been over a year since that night, and there's been no signs of them having ever come back.
Yeah, luckily, things like this are usually a one-time occurrence, but I'm sure that in some instances, the same people keep coming back to try to rob you. So, it definitely is truly unsettling in a situation like this. But if you don't answer the door, and you always have your doors and windows locked, like, you should be fine, and just call the police and you should be fine. So, yeah, this was definitely a creepy story, and I enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed my commentary and the music, and I will see you in the next video.